Good afternoon and welcome to Unity of Jupiter, where we start early and end on time. Barry was reminding me, but it's still not even 12 o'clock, so we're looking good today. And welcome to Unity. I am super excited today. We have a very special guest, Charlie Thweet, here today. And we've known Charlie for over 30 years. We met him on an airplane a long time ago. And you know, there are no coincidences in life. You never know why someone's going to come into your life, when your paths are going to cross. But Charlie and I have maintained and sort of interweaving our lives throughout this last 30 years. You know, I call him a mentor because in a lot of ways, he's the one who taught Barry and I to really make good eye contact, have a really good hug. And we went to a week-long mastery retreat, and Charlie makes you sing these songs and look in each other's eyes and tell them you're a being of light. And at first, it is the most uncomfortable thing, but I think it's a skill that we've really taken in our relationship, in our marriage, and it's helped us connect on deeper levels. So he has really been an amazing person in my life, and I hope you guys all enjoy his talk today. So if no one's told you they love you today, let me be the first. I love you. And as we get up to greet each other today, I want you to think about that. Just greet more than one person and just really lock eye contact just for a second. And when you say hello, just see the light shining out of them. So take a moment and say hello, please. Ronnie. I love you guys. So, as you all know, unity is a practical approach to Christianity. That's what we just did, connecting. I came to the Methodist Church this morning. I was listening to him, and he was talking about loneliness. And, you know, over all the stuff that went on this past week. And he said, and I don't know if you guys have seen the Utah governor or whatever, and sort of coming back to the point, it's like we've lost that connection, and people are becoming lonelier and lonelier, kind of by design, but kind of by choice. You know, technology doesn't help, social media doesn't help, but coming here to Unity, even if once a week, and we all get to connect on a real, deep, meaningful level, it makes a huge difference, not only in our lives, but in the lives of our community, our world, and everyone around us. So we really have to be sort of the light bearers as we go out there, bringing this message to everyone as we, you know, live our lives. He talked about it's easy to gather the people together, but when they scatter, they got to bring the message with them, and then they pick up more people and they gather back together the next week, bringing more and more. So, but loneliness is a scary thing, and so don't want to suffer from that. I want to say thank you to everyone's making this happen, to Sage and Larry and Jake this morning for our streaming and our recording. Anybody who's online, thank you for joining us. And I want to thank everybody who makes this happen. Karen's not here today, but Kathy and everyone who does fellowship, Mary Sue and Nick, and just everybody who makes this little community come together stronger and stronger each week. So now if you'll all rise, we'll sing our opening song, My Soul is Welcome Here, and then welcome Charlie.
So if there's anybody here who likes to clap, feel free, because I won't be able to.
Right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
All right.
I'm in the right place at the right time.
Right time.
I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place
The right place.
at the right time.
Right time.
I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
Welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
Welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
Welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
Now, Charlie Thweet. Thank you, Carl.
I was about to sit down. Hi, morning. Good morning. So, I want to do a little, just kind of sing along. It's not big and jumpy-uppy, but I like what it's saying. And it's a simple little thing. The words are open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Okay? So it goes like this. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. That's the whole thing. So will you do that? And once you get going, I might sing another thing over the top, but so sing strong. Okay, ready? And think about these words. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. You know, I did a lot of singing at preschool, kindergarten, back when my son was that age. I just had an idea. Play along with me on this. So we're going to do some hand motions. Open heart, open mind. So do that with me. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Try not to hit the person next to you on this one. So let's do that. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Keep going. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all. I give from the all in my heart. I give from the all in my heart. I give from the love in my heart. I give from the love in my heart. Let's do it a cappella. I give from the love in my heart. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all. Keep going. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all. I give from the love in my heart. I give from the love in my heart. I give from the love in my heart. Open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind, open heart, open mind, open arms to all mankind. Thank you. Let's live that.
Good afternoon. Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Scott Walter. I'm your board treasurer. We're so glad you're here with us today. Let's start with the daily word. Today's daily word is brave. Please read the daily word affirmation from the monitor with me. Through the power of God within me, I am brave. There it is. All right, let's try it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Through the power of God within me, I am brave. Perfect. If I want to have a greater, more expansive experience of life, I must be brave and move beyond the trepidation that holds me back. I do not judge myself for hesitating, but I don't let it stop me. Instead, I take my reluctance as a cue to call upon the strength of God within me to push past my fear and move forward. So much life lies on the other side of my fear. I believe I am meant to live a fulfilling, satisfying life. Whether I'm interested in having a grand adventure or simply stepping out of my comfort zone and trying new things, I can rely on the divine within as I summon the courage to do new things. I affirm, I am brave. As this becomes the truth of my heart, my experiences of life expand. For God did not... Today's daily word is brought to us by 2 Timothy 1:7. For God did not give us a spirit of cowardness, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. Alrighty, this week at Unity, here's what's happening. Monday evening at 7 p.m., there is a Course in Miracles class led by Sean Taker. Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., there's yoga and somatic class led by Patricia Carroll. The prayer and meditation group led by Pam Shoston meets on noon on Wednesdays. Sunday morning, every Sunday morning at 11:15 in the quiet room in the back of the sanctuary, the harmony exercise with Reverend John Denny. The classes meet in the all-purpose room downstairs, except for the harmony exercise, which is back there. And then coming up, starting this Tuesday, September 16th, Kimberly Prescott is starting a new book study class, Crucial Conversations, Tools for Talking When Stakes Are High. This is a don't-miss class. The class starts Tuesday, September 16th at 6:30 p.m. in the all-purpose room downstairs. The class will run for 6 weeks and is offered on a love offering basis. And Kimberly, I think you wanted to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. So the I Am Brave is really powerful because we're going to be exploring being fiercely brave, being fully self-expressed, and knowing where our limitations are, where we as individuals hold back from full self-expression. We're going to do a lot of self-awareness exercises where you will learn the tools to fully self-express even when the stakes are high and the emotions run higher. It's going to be an interactive class. I'd love to see all of you there. We have a lot of fun. Anybody taking the class, can you vouch fun? It's not just sitting around. We have a lot of fun. So come Tuesday night at 6:30 and we'll play in the sandbox of life.
Thank you, Kimberly. On Saturday, October 4th at 1 p.m., Joy Adele and Stace McDonald will be presenting another sound circle meditation in Fellowship Hall. Bring a yoga mat, blanket, and pillow. All are welcome, so bring a friend. A love offering is requested. Alrighty, calling all kids, starting Sunday, October 12th through November 5th, Centered and Connected Quilting for Good. Kiddos in the 1st to 5th grades are invited to build a no-sew quilt while weaving connections using the 5 Unity principles. offered during select Sunday services by Allison Purcell. There are flyers in the foyer with more information on that class. Today, please join us for Connection and Fellowship after the service in Fellowship Hall. And thank you to all who provide food for our fellowship and those who serve, clean up, and make it possible. Is there anyone here for the first time today? Yay, right on. So please know we want you to feel welcome. We also want you to feel wanted. Please take a welcome packet from the table to the right in the foyer as you're leaving. Then join us in Fellowship Hall across the walkway for some good food, good conversation, and amazing connections. Just follow everyone across the terrace there. Everyone, please check the table in the foyer for a current calendar of events and other flyers, and you can also find more information on our website, unityofjupiter.org. And now, to lead us into meditation, let's all join in singing Surely the Presence.
I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
I wonder if I might flip things just a little bit. Will you join me in our Lord's Prayer? Let's close our eyes. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. Leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. Amen. Leave your eyes closed. I want to use this song to take us into more meditation. There's a oneness in the air, and though I know it's always there, now I can feel it. I can feel it. And as I've looked within myself, there's some things I did not know well, until I named them, until I claimed them, and I found a path connecting me to all I am in light. Sing with me. I found a path connecting me. And I found a path connecting me to all I am in light, to all I am in light. Again. And I found a path connecting me to all I am in light. And I found a path connecting me to all I am in light. There's a oneness in the air, and though I know it's always there, now I can feel it. I can feel it. And as I've looked within myself, there's some things I did not know well until I claimed them, until I named them. I found a path, and I found a path connecting me to all I am inside, to all I am inside. And I found a path connecting me to all I am inside. I found a path, and I found a path connecting me to all I am inside. And I found a path connecting me to all I am inside. There's a oneness in the air. Thank you. Let's just sit in that silence a moment. Feel that oneness. Feel that path that we're all on, that inner path to who we are. There's a oneness in the air, and I know it's always there. Our job is to notice, to come back to who we are, live from that Christ within, that pure essence of love you are. I found a path connecting me to that place, that light, that place in me that is me. I awaken that path. I awaken myself on that path. There's a oneness in the air. Let's feel it. As we awaken to who we are. Amen. This is our awakening, our awakening. Sing that with me. This is our awakening, our awakening. This is our awakening, our awakening. This is our awakening, our awakening. Would you be happy if you could run fast? Would you be healed if you could outrun your past? Just breathe it inside you, let it be okay. 'Cause every step has brought you right here today to your awakening. Your awakening. Sing my awakening. This is my awakening. My awakening. This is my awakening. My awakening. This is my awakening. My awakening. Life is such a mystery, but life's not just your history. You go much deeper than this time and space. You are much more than that look on your face. Life's a mystery, such a mystery. This is our awakening. Our awakening. This is our awakening. Our awakening. This is our awakening. Our awakening. Our awakening. This is our awakening. Our awakening. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Stepping back on the path, conversations with St. Francis. I want to share some stories with you today about, me stepping back on the path in my life in 3 different areas. And I'm also going to be sharing I'm going to call them quotes from St. Francis. I've had the pleasure and the honor of going to Assisi, where he's from, 25 times. And I've begun a practice where I'll sit in his tomb, which is this beautiful, simple chapel on a lower level. And on one of my visits, I had the thought, hey, Francis, do you have anything you'd like to share with me? And just to listen and see what I heard. So today's quotes will be what I heard from St. Francis in my meditations in that chapel. I love it when I can find a joke to open with, so I have a quick joke about a monk. Are you ready? So maybe you've heard this. This is about a young man who joins an order, so he's just starting. And so he's a novice monk. And one of the rules of the order is that they're in silence the whole time, the whole year, except for one exception. Once a year, they can come into the head monk's office, the abbot's office, and say 2 words. Okay, so this young guy, he's been in the order for a year, finally comes in to say his 2 words, and he looks at the abbot and he thinks and he says, "Bed hard." Bed hard. Well, thank you very much. Now go on your merry way, your next year of prayers and silence. Another year, he comes in to say his 2 words. He thinks, "Food bad." Food bad. Okay, thank you very much. Goes on his way, does another year in silence, comes in for the 3rd time. Okay, so what are your 2 words? And the novice says, "I quit." The abbot looks at him and says, "I'm not surprised. All you've done since coming here is complain." I thought it was funnier than that, okay. Okay, stepping back on the path. St. Francis I think is kind of a cool guy, and I didn't grow up Catholic, so I have for me, there was Jesus, the next guy down was St. Francis, just as someone very well known for his heart and his message. And if you were to cull it down, I would say it's love, live simply, honor, serve, and inspire each other. And a quote I found from him, he said, always preach, sometimes with words. Isn't that great? Always preach, sometimes with words. I remember Thoreau said something like that, only the flip side, who you are is speaking so loudly, I can't hear a word you're saying. So this kind of the flip of that. Always preach, sometimes with words. He came from a background, he was middle class in around the late 1100s, early 1200s. And something that was a turning point for him is that as a young man he was sent off to war. Back then it was city-states warring with each other. And he was just horrified from his experience, came back with what we would call PTSD. It kind of drove him mad. He was wandering around aimlessly and just trying to figure out life. And one day he was wandering on the edge of Assisi, kind of down the hill, and stumbled upon this old chapel in rubble, a little place called San Damiano. And it was just in all disrepair, and the walls were down. And as the story goes, he kind of peered through a broken down wall, and over the altar was this crucifix kind of sideways. And as he looked at Jesus on the cross, Jesus spoke to him. And he said, rebuild my church. Rebuild my church. And I guess St. Francis probably wasn't used to hearing voices, and he had nothing else to do. He felt inspired, and he actually came down with mortar and started picking up the stones and rebuilding this old chapel. Then other young men in the town wandered by and asked what he was doing, and they started to join in, and this little brotherhood began, of this little brotherhood of monks. So it also turns out, as he developed his life, that his energy, that phrase applied to a larger level, rebuild my church, also his open-hearted approach started to redirect the politics of the greater church. So in a way, it was this little chapel, but also redirecting to a more heart-open influence that was happening. I think about when I was his age. I don't know if you have. I think anyone who gets on a spiritual path, if there's some turning point, would you agree that, like something where you hit a wall and you go, this just doesn't work anymore. I got to do something different. I know when I was in college, it's a standard thing you do. You graduate high school, you go to college, you get through college, you get married, you have a family, you get a house, you get a job, blah, 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 blah. And I remember thinking, wait a second, is this it? Because it was like the Monopoly board, right? Like you pass go, you collect $200, you go around, you pay rent, you collect money, you give out money, and I feel like I've got to jump off the Monopoly board. I don't want to do this the rest of my life. Is this it? There's got to be something bigger. So you have to actually jump off, get to a different perspective, and look at what else is there more. And I think that launched me into my greater, my spiritual path. It's always kind of a stair step, little at a time, awareness and growth and searching. When I hear someone say they're a seeker, I have the thought, I like saying I'm a finder. Seeking seems like it's never attained. So I want to look at some of these quotes that I heard and how they apply to us. And the first area I want to look at has to do with self-knowing. How do we get back on the path with that inner knowing in our lives? And life is like a pendulum, I think, that we get in touch with that deeper self, and then maybe we lose touch, and I get back on the path. Maybe I got angry, in a moment, and go, oh, oops, come back to love. That feeling, like, oops, I blew it, come back. And I think it's sometimes like a pendulum, like, left and right, I lost it, come back home. I lost it, come back to that heart, that Christ self within. And you could get lost thinking that it's just back and forth. But I think in life, have you heard of something called the spiral curriculum? So it's like, it looks like back and forth, but it's more of a spiral where you keep growing and elevating your awareness. You go higher and higher in your awakening. So it's not a pendulum where, oh, I'm back to where I was 10 years ago. No, it's always that learning and growing. So as we come back home. I also think it's kind of like the prodigal son. He blew it. He went out, he made a mess, and the father said, come home, I don't care, you're forgiven, just come back. I think that's representative of us come back home, it's okay, you screwed up, come back to heart, come back to center. So in that self-knowing, I had an experience where I had just become a father, and it was like 24 hours into being a father for the first time, it was suddenly 3 a.m, and I had a crying baby in my arms. And my wife at the time, Lori, could not get up. She had, because of the birth, she had to stay in bed for a few days, bed rest, don't get up. So it's all on me. And I think we all know babies don't come with instruction manuals. You get to learn a lot in the process. So I'm walking around crazy, just screaming, 3 a.m, what do I do, what do I do? And I had to find some inner knowing. Come back to an inner knowing. Get on the path of, I know something, I'm just going to access it. And what finally arose was remembering that when I was a child, it would always soothe me when my mother would hum. That's a humming, just like, so I thought, I'll hum. And I'm walking around humming, and he's trying to calm down, hum some more. It becomes this little melody. And then after a few minutes, I start having words. I held your head when you were tired. A little 4-line ditty. And now I'm walking around, he's calming, and I'm thinking, it's totally dark in the living room. I don't want to forget this song. So now I'm fishing around for a tape recorder in the dark. Quick, sing it in there and remember it. And finally got him to sleep. We could finally rest. And it worked. So accessing this inner knowing. How can I get back on the path with the me that knows? I'll tell you a quick side note that I didn't record that song. Finally put it on an album 12 years later. And I said, hey, Jeremy, the song I wrote 12 years ago, you want to sing on it with me? And I got him in the studio, very cute, his little headphones in the booth. And who would have ever guessed, holding this one-day-old baby, making up a tune, we'd be singing it in the studio together 12 years later. So that was just fun. What I heard St. Francis say, and this is about tapping into our deeper knowing, be simple in your love, be humble in your life, be gentle in your giving, be true to yourself. To me, that's about the inner knowing. Be true to who you know yourself to be. In these ways, you know that Spirit walks with you. In these ways. Be simple in your love, humble in your life, gentle in your giving, and true to yourself. In these ways, you know that Spirit walks with you. And I was grateful for that night. A second area I think we're getting back on the path with, and maybe this is truer than ever this week, is our connection with others. And not just the others that are easy, right? Others. Open arms to all mankind. Oneness has to involve others. If you're sitting alone in a room reading a book, can you feel oneness? I don't think it's really where oneness happens. I think it's like Jesus said, where 2 or more are gathered, then you have that connection, that eye contact John was talking about, that arcing energy between, where we feel our connection. I've had some amazingly deep experiences of that with eye contact, just stopping and being with another person at some length, no words. And it's been mind-blowing how connected I can see that we are. I know we've all experienced it in various ways. Getting back on the path with our connection. I had an experience of this, again, in kind of a fun way. As a 27-year-old, it was the first time I went to Europe. I went by myself, the old classic bag over the shoulder, and I thought I was going for a week and a half. It turned out to be 2.5 months. Luckily, I had enough traveler's checks, remember those, in my pocket. And at one point, I was in this little bed and breakfast in Austria, and where you have the little breakfast room in the morning. I was sitting there, just a few tables and chairs, and I was having my yogurt and croissant. And I overheard behind me a couple speaking German. I thought, oh, fun, maybe they're from Germany. And then another couple comes in speaking Spanish. They sit down, I hear them speaking Spanish. Well, this is fun, in a very international place. And a few minutes after they sat down, the young lady from the desk, this is Austria, so she speaks German, she came in and started to try and tell them something, some kind of maybe about their bill, but they don't know German and she doesn't know Spanish. And I have this thought, well, I speak Spanish, and I turned around and asked this couple, do you speak English? They said yes. Well, how about find out in German what she's saying, tell me in English, and I'll tell them in Spanish. And it worked. And suddenly the room was laughing, and we're all just like, we were woven together in oneness, in this connection. And it's moments like that are precious. You know, strangers, there's a oneness in the air. I know it's always there. Now I can feel it. It's ours to jump in. I do this on elevators. You know, some stranger, I strike up a conversation, make a joke, like she's my sister I've known all my life. Just make ourselves available to each other. We are one. Maybe we can do it lightheartedly. Some words I heard St. Francis say that I think are moving. He said, take your moments and make your moments like jewels in the crown of life. Take your moments and make your moments like jewels in the crown of life. It's always available, always available. Lastly, I want to look at our connection with the divine, you know, with God. And often the way this shows up for me is I need some guidance. You know, God, what would you have me do in this situation? And I'm not finding it with inner knowing, so I'm like, help. I remember Alan Cohen is a buddy of John's and mine, and he said the shortest prayer is this, help! Sometimes that's our prayer, isn't it? You know, God, what would you have me do in this situation? And so I think it's about listening, getting out of the way. Often, if you hear yourself saying, I need to figure it out, that might be a limited range of kind of answers you're going to get, because it'll be mental, right? If not everything, sometimes there's bigger answers than what our little brains can figure out. So I would be aware, you know, kind of like notice if you're saying I'm going to figure it out versus, you know, what's the bigger truth? What's the bigger answer in this situation? So what happened to me was I just met Lori, who was going to become my son's mother, and about a week later, it was her birthday. We were on opposite sides of the country by then, but I wanted to write a song for her on her birthday. And so I got out my guitar, started thinking what would be some good chords, started, you know, this, maybe this, and it wasn't flowing at all. I was trying to figure out a song, and that's not how songs work. And so I'm a few minutes into this, and suddenly I hear a voice, as clear as a bell. And this voice says three things. It says, close your eyes, shut up, and listen. Now that might be a good motto for life, unless you're driving, but you know, maybe a lot of our situations, what if we just close our eyes, close our mouth, and open our ears? Yeah, and be available to a greater guidance. Has anyone here ever used a pendulum? It's kind of a fun thing. I did it back in the 70s. I can't say I've done it since then, but it was an interesting practice because if you don't know, you find a pendulum and you test for it, but generally it's for yes or no questions. And if it's clockwise, usually it's yes, counterclockwise, no, but you test to make sure for yourself. And what I did, someone showed it to me, so I tried to, like, should I go to the movies with these people? And it said yes. So I went. And then when the movie's over, should I go home? I said no. Go out and hang out with them some more? Yes. So, and then I did that. So what's interesting about it is it's both the willingness to listen and the willingness to surrender to the answer. You know, if you ask a question and you hear an answer, maybe go with it. So, and you might have the thought, well, what if I stumble and fall because I went with this dang pendulum? Well, the reason you're asking in the first place, you're stumbling and falling. Why not just have an adventure with God and listening to your greater self? So anyway, after a couple of days, I felt like I'd opened something in me that was willing to ask and willing to listen, and I didn't need the pendulum anymore. But it's also the willingness to follow and see where you're led. Are you willing to have that little adventure of where is this taking me? Where's that guidance taking me? So anyway, back to the song. So I did. I closed my eyes, shut up and listened, and I started to hear this totally different melody. And well, that's pretty. And so I sang that to my tape recorder to catch it, listened some more, sang that, found the chords that went with that, then words started coming, and I had a complete song in 30 minutes from getting out of the way. There's so many ways in our life if we can just get out of the way and open to some greater guidance. Let that kind of divine make its way in. Close your eyes. Shut up and listen. And that again is how we get back on the path of knowledge and kind of lined up with what life wants. And with that in mind, I want to share this last quote. And this was actually the first one I heard when I was in that chapel and saying, "What would you like to share with me?" And Francis said this. And it was really about him just being a person like anybody else. He said, "All I did was line up with God. I am a man like any other. All I did was line up with God." And to me, that's saying getting back on the path. We call it the straight and narrow. It sounds negative when you say that, but it's really just, how can I line up with my best self in all my choices? Life is always asking us to step back on the path. Come home again. Come back to you. Come back to that Christ within, that love you are, that deeper knowing. And when we do that, we can truly take our moments and make our moments like jewels in the crown of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlie. That was awesome. Now we move into our celebration of abundance, our opportunity to give back from our financial abundance. There are many ways to give. You can drop your gift into the offering bags going around. You can also text your donation to 561-581-1119, or give by debit or credit card after today's service in our office located downstairs. Most of these options can be set up for automatic recurring giving. To keep our time of giving sacred, I would like you to now take your gift in your hands and bless it. You're planting the seeds to your own prosperity and giving back to God from the abundance that has already been provided for you. Breathe life into your gift and thank God that you have this gift to give. Now affirm with me the offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Sailing into nothing, sailing into space, sailing into everything I face, sailing into my destiny, where my future meets my past, knowing that the soul of me will last to the last. Sing with me, sailing, sailing into nothing, into nothing, sailing, sailing into space, into space, sailing, sailing into everything I face, into everything I face. Oh, do that. Oh, again. Sailing into my destiny, where my future meets my past, knowing that the soul of me will last to the last, sailing, sailing. I'm sailing, I'm sailing. I'm sailing. I'm sailing. Thank you. Could I make a quick announcement? Would that be okay? Okay, quick announcement. So I do lead trips to Italy. If you want to come, I have one in April, and pick up a flyer. I have these flyers on the table. If you want to take some of my music home, I have thumb drives, CDs. And lastly, I have a prolific wife who likes to write all different kinds of books. We have a healthy, gluten-free vegan chocolate book, which some people have gotten here and love it. And also a wonderful spiritual book for children about self-acceptance. It's called I Look to the Moon. It has these great, color artwork pages. So come see me at the table afterwards. And again, thanks so much for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome, Charlie.
Thank you, Johnny.
And thank you for coming. And thank you all for coming. You are what makes this place great. And thank you for your gifts. If we could bring the gifts forward and the blessings. I know I forgot a few things today. I forgot the affirmation, forgot the statement of faith. But anyway, we all made it through. Start early, end early. And now if you'll all just join me in taking a breath and going back inside, going back into that place of oneness. And we give thanks for all the gifts given today. And we know God's law is abundant supply, which is enough and to spare for every need. So we see these gifts multiplied, covering every need of this ministry, every need of anything of the people in it. And we see every member, every person here in this congregation blessed in abundant supply, knowing God created an abundance for each and every one of us, awaiting our acceptance. And we say, thank you, God. And we take all the prayers in this prayer box. We know God is omniscient, all-knowing. He already knows the answer to all these prayers. We put them in for our doubt and our fear, removing that and knowing God is taking care of all these prayers. We give thanks for answered prayers. And now if you all rise, we'll sing our closing song, followed by a prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on